is the Metaverse. It's an AR browser. These are completely free. And also for MergeCube, if you search MergeCube on the App Store, you'll see a bunch of different ones come up. These are the ones that I've been using most, that I like. This is the Galactic Explorer and Things. So after the session and after you learn more about what it is, you're going to go home and you're going to download all the other free ones. You're going to love it that much. So I'll give you a few minutes to get those. Sold out. George, sold out, sorry. No breathing allowed. Okay, it's MergeCube. MergeCube Galactic. If you search MergeCube, it'll come up. It's the space one. Galactic Explorer. There's other ones. There's Dig, I think. There's Mr. Body. So you really don't have to do them all. Just Galactic Explorer is the one that I'm going to focus on, but the other ones are fun too. Yeah. Wait, your stuff's over here. Is that working for everyone? The downloads? Yeah? Has anyone heard of those before? No? Metaverse? You know what it is. Has anyone heard of Metaverse? And the Cube, MergeCube?
I have a question.
Yes.
So MergeCube, then there's all like the subcategories of it. Is that how it is?
Yeah, MergeCube is, that's the main one, and MergeCube, it's a Merge is actually the company, and they have a bunch of assets to it.
You need MergeCube for everything else to work.
Let me get to that in a second. But I'm happy you don't know what it is, because I keep talking about something that you already know. I don't want to bore you. So Galactic. How are you? Good to see you.
Oh, it's a physical cube. It's an actual physical cube. But then like the kids scan it.
Okay. We good? We still downloading? Or we're okay?
Oh, fine. Yeah, that's fine. I only saw her present this.
Oh, Angela, hi, I'm so happy you're here. Angela, Ben. Okay, welcome everyone. Thank you for being here. Thank you for coming to Farmingdale. This is my home, so I'm so happy to be speaking with you here and sharing a session. Thank you for coming. I'm Bonnie McClellan. I'm instructional coach for digital learning here at Farmingdale. I've been a teacher in Farmingdale for a little over 15 years, and just this first year I stepped out of the classroom and I took more of a technology role. So I'm excited to share the things that I've learned with you. And this is my...
My name is Bob Joyce. I teach English in Massapequa, and I have a tech addiction.
Okay, so this is Classroom Sorcery and Text Magic. Okay, go back. Okay, so Sir Arthur C Clarke. Does anyone know who he is? Science people? Who is he?
He's a writer of science fiction.
Yes,
So
and
it's
he can, Space Odyssey,
Space
2001
Odyssey,
Space Odyssey.
2001,
He has 3 laws, they call them Clarke laws. This is my favorite. Any sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic. And he said this years and years and years ago. And when I saw this, I said, God, there is our session subject. That's what we have to use. Because with all the technology we have today and the amazing things that they can do, it truly is indistinguishable from magic. And when kids see it and the things that they could do from it, I kind of like to believe it is magic. Thank you. So engage, experience, and empower. Everything has a letter. There's 4 C's, 5 C's. These are our 3 E's, we like to call them. So in teaching, I think it's important to engage your students. What we're going to do today, I'm going to engage you and show you different tools. Give them a chance to experience it on their own. And then finally, empower them by either creating their own experiences, their own apps, their own ways to use these magical tools that we're going to share with you. So for our first trick, we're going to create and experience levitated objects in the classroom. Through Metaverse. Metaverse is something that I discovered, I want to say only a few months ago. Only a few months ago, it has become more popular. Educators are using it. What it is, you create AR experiences through this, and anyone could do it. There's no coding involved. They have a full YouTube channel of how you can do it, how you can create these experiences for the students. And the great thing is, the students themselves, once you show them how to do it, can take it on themselves and create their own experiences. It works best on iPhones and iPads. I create it on my Chromebook, but then to use it, and that's why I had to download the app for that. I'm going to show you what happened. Being a former kindergarten teacher,
2 teams of 4 people take turns throwing
this is how I would
44-pound
do
stones
kindergarten
down
class.
a sheet of ice. The target, a 12-foot house. It looks like a bullseye.
So that's
Just
explaining.
under 150 feet away.
You can pause that. Yeah. So what I did, being a former kindergarten teacher, I couldn't wait to get back into a kindergarten class and show them this because they use iPads. So of course I had to engage them first, and I did this around the Winter Olympics time. And curling being the sport that it is, nobody knows what it is. But I like to believe that because I showed these little kindergarten kids what curling was, the men went on to win the gold this year. Right? It was the magic of kindergarten that allowed that to happen. So I engaged them. We talked about the different sports, and I used simple chart paper to spell out some of the words that they were going to be using in the app. Then they experienced. So what happened? They used their iPads, and you're going to see what it's like. I'm going to show you. What happens? They hold it up. They scanned a QR code. And questions came up about the Winter Olympics, the different things that we discussed. And through the AR, augmented reality, I was able to put in different athletes, different sports, so it looked like they were levitating, that they were floating in the classroom. And they were so excited. And the teacher told me when it was all said and done, the most magical thing about this lesson was how they helped each other. The power of them working together. Because they couldn't, kindergarten kids, they're still learning how to spell. So through the metaverse, I asked them questions. What is the sport? What do you need to use for this? So they referred to the chart the way that we formed the words earlier, and they found them on there. And the kids helped each other. Here it is. It starts with an S. It's right here. So we paired them up, and they were working together. And there's Curly over there, and they were amazed. So I'm just trying to think. If you have iOS 11, QR codes work right through your camera app. So if you hold your camera up to that, you're going to experience what I'm talking about. And you'll hear me speaking. And put your sound on so I know it's working. I'll hear myself. And if you have to get up and move around, please feel free. That's another thing the kindergartners love. They didn't have to sit down. They were able to walk around. It's working.
It's the Winter Olympics 2000. It's the Winter Olympics 2000.
Oh, boy. All right. You can lower this sound if you like. Just to get the idea of what happens. So I've seen teachers use this for review sessions to add questions on something they need to study for a test, add the questions and the students will respond. So for the older kids, you don't necessarily have to use the audio. I did that again to help the kindergartners who are still pre-readers.
You have to go back to the App Store once
You do, no. If you downloaded the app, when you click that, it should open automatically.
It doesn't.
See,
I
you
have it right now.
have to find them in the room.
Oh, you didn't, it says you didn't get the app. No, only your camera. It goes right through the camera.
Try again. I said it's wrong.
Yeah, it's do that. You update on the phone. Yes, you don't need a reader anymore.
I didn't download that.
Try again. Wow, I'm doing terrible.
So the next thing is,
So I had, you saw, I think I had maybe 5 or 6 questions on there for them, and they were moving around the room. They were asking, they were helping each other. The ones, are you up to the skating yet? Are you up to the curling yet? So it was fun. It was fun for them. Now with Metaverse. I'm just gonna go to the second So, Metaverse, here they are on Twitter. Here is the website. And they have an amazing YouTube tutorial channel that posts, and they're short videos that show you exactly how to, here's how you add audio, here's how you add a character. You can even add your own Bitmoji in there. I know everyone loves Bitmojis now. You can add a video, and they'll show you step by step how to do it. And it's more or less, you may think it's like coding. When I looked at it first, I said this is coding, but it's not. You have to move, they call them experiences. You have to attach. It's kind of like an if, then, this. Like if the students got the question wrong, you have to navigate them to this experience. So it's a little bit of building, but it's interesting, and you can make them as long or as short as you want. And I've seen older kids make them themselves as a review kind of thing, or games. If you go onto the app itself, you'll see ones on there that people post and make them public, like little fun games and things. I want to say within the past week or so, they released a new feature on Metaverse called Portal, and I just did this last night.
It's the Winter Olympics 2000.
Sorry. I'm going to hear that in my sleep. Okay, so this one I just did last night. It only has two panels, and what they release is something called a portal. So when you go to the next one, it looks like a black hole almost, and if you walk toward it or zoom in, when you pinch your zoom, it'll open up bigger, and it will create an experience for the students like they're almost there. And this one I did on Mars, like you're going into Mars. So if you want to just scan one more, and then I'll move on to the next one, because this one's really cool. Let you see. That's the QR code right there. Please see. Oh, you know what? That's a great question.
Sorry, I'm in the worst.
Ryan has a great question. Another thing I love about this, you don't have to use the Google Cardboard. This is that AR/VR type experience where the students love. But who has cardboard or goggles for the entire class? And who has a phone for everybody in the class? You don't. So this is one of those things that if you have access to iPads, this is a great tool that they can use and they don't need that. However, if they do have them, it'll create it, it'll blow your mind even more. Yes.
But then you can't
Yes.
type in your answers like that. So with snowboard and then
True.
because if you drop it in
Right.
just gotcha. Thank you.
So you said you can use that with the iPads or with...
Phones. Chromebooks, I use it to build them, but you need that viewer. If you have that camera, that world-facing camera, it may work. It's in the apps, it's an Android app.
So they have to download the app?
There's an Android, yeah, I haven't tried it yet on that, so I'm not sure how well it will work. If they, yes, then they can get on that. I wouldn't get to work with it, but I haven't figured that out yet.
So you can download the app to the computer? That's really neat. Cardboard.
Do you see it? Do you see Mars? That's kind of cool, right? See, and then if you turn around and you can zoom it, right? That's amazing, right? Imagine already. You didn't make it. Yes, they have their own library of 360 videos. That was one of them that was on there, and I didn't actually visit Mars. I take that. Yes, there's an Android app. There's not an Android app. It's not working? Oh, this is different. This is
It's getting cold, but then
That's also Google's Play Store.
This stuff like that.
It's cool.
This one's
Before I had to go over there.
So as I was saying to someone before, this is the site itself. So when you're ready to build, see when you create an experience, it has a library of portals. This is something there's a YouTube video for it, how to create a portal. They have their own search. So you could, I haven't tried it, but you could take another 360 video. There's a whole library of those on YouTube. I could see that. Something else. So that's Metaverse. Sorry, that went a little longer than I wanted.
If you do have the Google goggles, can you create ones that you can have
You
them
can,
appear
I'm
on
guessing,
there?
well, you would create it and then they would see it in there. It would be
It has to split screen it to the left eye, right eye.
I can imagine the portal one would be unbelievable through the goggles. You'll see it.
But then then you're giving up, like you said, one-to-one devices, you have to have phones or
Yes,
something
and
connected.
you would, they wouldn't be able to answer questions.
Right, two
They would
questions,
just
yeah.
see it.
Okay, so then first you can actually ask questions.
Well, yeah, if you built it that way. All right. All right, this is a fun one. So with this one, with the next trick, the psychic artist mysteriously knows your drawing. This is going to work on your phone, or if you have a touchscreen Chromebook, this is gonna work. The students are actually going to love this too. Everyone's all about sketchnoting now. Sketchnoting is a big deal and how important it is. And if we can teach our students how to quickly sketch a concept or a topic, then it helps them take notes faster, understand the concept a little bit more. So with this Google tool that I'm going to show you, it asks you to draw different images, and it gives you 20 seconds, and it guesses what you're drawing, what happens. And it's a lot of fun. And then it creates a library across the world of images and how people drew them. Have you ever heard of AutoDraw? I think it's called AutoDraw. AutoDraw is an app where students can use where they draw something, and if it's good enough for the computer to recognize it, it creates a better drawing for them. Like you could start maybe a circle with the ears for a dog, and then boom, there's a real dog there, a real drawing of the dog. That AutoDraw used, this is machine learning, they used the drawings from this to create the drawings on AutoDraw, if that makes any sense. So what this is, I want you to navigate to quickdraw.withgoogle.com. Have you heard of it? I've heard somebody say, oh, yeah, it's so much fun. The kids love it. quickdraw.withgoogle.com. Right. But the fun part is that I'm going to show you the library of what everything looks. This was drawn.
Did you HTTP?
Right, and you can see how different people around the world perceive.
I see stairs, or shoe, or keyboard, or pillow.
Oh, here it's working.
I see suitcase, or bench.
So, and it will tell you what it sees or what it thinks it sees.
And lines and keyboard.
I see party hat.
Party hat.
Or shoe, or taxi. I see cups, or mustache, or yoga, or sunglasses, or mouse. I see garden hose, or plant, or wheel, or sailboats. I see coffee, or
No, it's a website. Did anyone get all 5? Or did no 6? I couldn't see the computer get all 6. So this is one I did. This was really interesting. I did this one and then I screenshotted it. This is my favorite because it asked for French fries, and I drew the box, I drew the line, and it was calling it plants, it was calling it all sorts of things, but French fries, until I put an M, until I put the M there, oh, I know it's French fries. They knew right away by that M. How interesting. And then, let me go on to the site and I'll show you. This change for Okay, so on the actual site, if you click world's largest dueling data set, this is really fun to show the kids too. What do 50 million drawings look like?
Animal
So here are drawings from around the world. So if you click on this, click the key, you are looking at 139,010 key drawings made by real people on the internet. And the best part about this, if you click one of them, it will show you what country it was drawn in and when. So let's see this. This was drawn in the Netherlands on January 3rd. This was, anyone? Did anyone heard of what?
Kazakhstan.
Kazakhstan, thank you. There's one in Italy. We tried the bread. If you do the bread is amazing. And let me tell you, the Italian bread drawing was the best drawing out of any. So I think, so to use this in the classroom, I think not only is it fun, it forces the kids to draw something in a legible type kind of way to help train them to do sketchnoting. And also to explain to them what machine learning is. The computer is using your data to create something else. And they made that auto draw out of it. So you're welcome. You'll be playing this all day.
Bonnie, can you use those pictures, like to put in like a Google Doc or a Google slide?
I don't think.
Like, are they
you could
images?
certainly screenshot them.
Oh, but you can't like
and do
copy
it that way.
paste into Google.
I don't think they download.
Okay. Thank you.
Do you have any ideas for like applications on a maybe high school level in regards to quick draw? Like I'm trying to think of like how I could use this. It seems like fun.
Well, definitely in high school, I think they're trying to push the sketchnoting in high school and show them
So how does that help with the sketchnoting? That's what I'm
because
trying to
not everyone claims to be an artist. And everyone's, oh, I can't draw. Well, but sketchnoting.
I've never heard of sketchnoting.
Okay, all
Sorry.
right. Does anyone have a good explanation of sketchnoting that really loves it? If you are you on Twitter?
Yeah.
Okay, if you just search hashtag sketchnote, you'll see tons of them, right? And some people do a really good job at it. But what it is, if you're listening to a teacher speak, or you're at a session, or listening to a keynote, rather than handwrite notes or type notes, people draw little images with maybe a word or two to connect them to that idea, to help them remember. And some kids learn better that way, we all know that. Some kids are just visual like that. So if we could just supply, I guess, another choice for them to draw pictures instead of handwriting notes, it may work better for them.
Check out Sylvia Duckworth. This
Yes.
This is an app I use called Notability.
Okay.
So this is when I was writing a TED Talk that I did.
Okay. Yeah.
Wrote it all out, did my sketches on there.
Gotcha. Now, can they import their drawings from QuickDraw into the like a personal document or something?
Yeah,
how do you connect the two? Is what I'm wondering.
I would use it just as a practice, I think. Just to practice, draw something quick, because if you're listening to someone speak that you need to take notes on, you can't take time drawing detailed drawings.
Sure.
You're going to have to do it quick. So this kind of shows them, like, how can you get Google to guess it really quick? What do you need to draw to get it going quick?
Sure.
All right, so here's my Okay, this is my favorite. Hold the hologram in your hand. Something came out around Christmas time called Merge Cube. And it looks like this. The box looks like this in the store, if you were to purchase it. I have a bunch of Merge Cubes in here, and I have a lot more at home, and I will not tell you why I have so many of them. But I'd like to have some of you try it. Because what it is, it's a hologram. If you open up the app, we'll start with, I guess, the space one. You hold a cube, and you hold the app over it. You'll see all of the AR experience through the cube. Each side has its own image, augmented reality that will pop up. They just start, because it's catching on so well. I can imagine there's going to be a lot more educational type experiences. Now, the majority of them are just fun. Like, Things is so much fun. The galactic one is a solar system one, and when you see it, if you click the planets, you'll be able to see different facts and different learning things about that. So, if you're a good catcher, I'm going to throw something. They're soft. And make sure you sit next to somebody that has one.
So are you doing phone mode or?
I want to have at least one on every table. Is there a table that doesn't have one? That's a big group back there.
Yeah, what are you?
I need an activation.
Oh, let me go to that. No, you don't have to put anything in. Look.
Maybe.
Here. These can come up. You have one and skip everything. Skip. Don't enter any codes. Don't enter emails. You do have one say yes and everything else is
It looks like each side. I have it on here. So if you spin it,
No, it's good.
I'm just on the tutorial.
Are we seeing it? Anything? Shout when you see it. You seeing it? Now if you tap on the planet.
Oh, now the side. He's coming up. I don't know what he's doing and why he's in the wrong direction. He's like lying there. He's coming out of the there he is. Come on. You're the star sign. Oh, now he's moving. Look.
Flips to like another side. Is that how it works? Okay.
If you want to go to things is also things has a bunch of different names. Oh, so you did a different one.
She's on the tutorial. Is that right?
No, we don't need that. Okay. That's why you have me.
I'll do after practice.
I know, me too.
How is it looking on yours? Is it just one? Just partial?
Now, another cool thing, if you notice in the top right of your screen, it says record. You can record that video. Students can record themselves thinking. And the video is on.
Oh, that's a master? Google Cardboard is a deal for the virtual reality. Oh, fun. So it's, there we go. Okay. It's like fun. I mean, I consider that. I mean, I just need to be able to So each side has a different
So I challenge you. Oh, you did the thing. You know, you did the thing. You know, now this one is best because every it's not big enough. You know what?
Yeah.
She sent him around if you're interested in so I just told myself to do it. So you had to figure out combinations, to the number, some of the things are big.
Yeah, I've been using my iPad.
So around Christmas, I have a funny story to tell you. I saw this online, of course, on Twitter, where I find everything. People saying, oh, you know, you have to try this. It's on sale, I think, for $9. It's called the Merge Cube. It's on sale at Walmart. So I said, all right, I'm going to get one for my son. It looks kind of fun. So I ordered one. We got it. We actually, you know, with every Christmas tree, so we never got around to trying it. So we had it at home. 2 months later, around February break, I started seeing images on Twitter of teachers with a Walmart cart and a wall of Merge Cubes like this. All of them, like in the like shots of their trunk, like 40, 50 in their trunk. And I said, oh my God, I got one of those. What's the deal? What's going on? They put them on sale at Walmart for $1. Oh my God. So, and the teachers went nuts, and there's blog posts now on how to use Merge Cubes in the class. So me, never been known to mess up, to pass by a bargain. I'm going to. So, yeah, don't go to the one in Farmingdale or the one in East Meadow. I got them all because we were doing a magic session at Suffolk Acid. So we told Bob, we got something big for you. So I took a whole bunch. And now, if you go on Walmart.com now, you could find it, but unfortunately they're not sure. I think they're like 7. But it's, you know, it's still not. Oh, 620.
Yeah, 3,015.
But what happened? People were worried. They said, "Oh, maybe Merge is going out of business." What happened? They bought too many. They had an overabundance, and they just wanted. They put them on clearance. They wanted to get rid of them. So teachers, you know, don't put a discount for teachers. But, however, so for those of you, unfortunately, I can't let you leave with a cube. I'm very sorry. So that was the plan. That was the plan one. If you do things, there's a body one on there. Yep, there's parts of the body, and I know they're coming out. But kind of discovered something. We're playing around with our session planning things. We discovered. So we discovered that each one of these is exactly the same. The 6 sides on these cubes are exactly the same. In essence, it's like a QR code. So we thought, actually, Bob, I can't remember it. Bob said, so you mean if we take the picture or an image of one of these sides and you scan it, it'll work? I said, I don't know. After I have like 40 of them in my house. Let's try it. Let's try it. Try it and let me know. Anything? Anything else?
Yep.
Working?
Yep. Like floating into space. No, I just put my phone
Yeah.
up there.
Working? See that? So you don't need a full set of cubes. All you need are the images. And now the other one, Let me show you. Here's a.
And you only can't move it around.
Like there's a sorcery there.
Can't do this.
Sorcery.
Sorcery right there.
Oh, wicked.
That's like,
Well, no, it's, you're right, the phone has to have that app. You don't need a QR reader. Right, so then you just hold the camera app up to the screen. And this is dedicated app. It's like a QR code that's proprietary. Yeah, or if you're coming on school, you set those up at IT level, set blanket on the school iPads with those apps right out. These are free apps, pre-installed on all the district machines. And then that's it. Now we want to bring that class activity, you know, it's out.
So for that table that was doing space,
Like a laundry list of.
each one of these is a different one of those tables.
Try that, yeah.
Something works at your school.
You take the photo.
So when you record, it's recording what you're seeing on your phone,
And saves it on your phone.
on your camera roll. And you could speak, you can tell the students, they could record, like, I guess for the planets or the bodies, questions that they have throughout the video. They can save that and put it on Flipgrid.
Oh, okay. So you can watch that and they can record their voice.
So all you need is
Can you pick
one
one
and
background?
you take a snapshot.
I don't know.
So I'll have to get one cube so that I can make pictures and for the front.
Oh, it's smoking.
When you twist it and you got that one.
And look, the fire
So take a picture, see
So you can see where they are.
and you put it on.
kind of like the planets when I press something.
No, well, this one, the metaverse is different than Reddit.
That's what I like to do. It's for the email. I didn't really like that, but
It's like one of those things where something.
We have just one more thing to share with you, but Dr. Brennan wants to share.
I want to direct everybody's attention to something quick as we transition to session 4. If you go to the schedule itself, go to the very top of the schedule, you can see session 4. You can click on that and choose where you want to go for session 4. The schedule is being built right now, so you'll see things in there. Through this hallway, up in the Innovation Lab, we have a group of kids, and I think the library as well. But just check out that schedule and see everything. It's going to get started in just a couple minutes.
You're welcome. Angela found something really cool. She wants.
If you have like a circuit machine, I was wondering if this would work. Someone put the layout on Google Images, a scanned version of it, and I was wondering if we put it through those machines that cut the paper, circuit machines I think they're called, that there's some images already on Google Images of the merged cube flattened out. So I was wondering if we printed that, if the kids actually create their own.
You could, I think, 'cause it's in the foldable, so if you print it on cardstock.
Yeah, it's already foldable, it has the edges, if you did it on cardstock, I was wondering if that would work.
How'd you find it?
I just did Google Images, I was wondering if those 6 images were on Google Images and that came up. So I did Google Images, merge slides, and that came up. I don't know if that's right, but
Makes sense. But you can't just print it out. And they can, yeah, like cardboard.
So nice meeting you. Where are you going next?
602 Virtual Museum.
Oh, that's
These things on top of it, you give them a much greater range of expression, especially for students that are younger, or if you have special needs students that you're looking to figure out more of what's going on in their heads and to have a greater idea of what they're thinking or how they're thinking. So I've been trying to teach my students from the very beginning of the year. I spent the first week or 2 or 3 weeks teaching them these skills, so then any project that I do from then on out, we would normally say to students, write me a paragraph about this, just whatever it would be. You're kind of constrained by okay, just writing or this, that. So using a combination of these in conjunction with writing, listening, speaking, those things, it gives them a much greater range and a much more vivid understanding of what they're actually thinking. So one of the things that we use for green screen recording is the app VScope, which is you can get on your phone for $2.99. It's unbelievable in terms of what it can do. Combine that with a $1 tablecloth and you're all set. So you just tape that up in the corner. We use this for a lot of group recordings. We've done, we do 12 Angry Men every year. So you can see, this is my classroom here, and this is the setup. Just basically set it up. The whole back room, back wall is green. So it lets them kind of recreate the story, and it immerses them a lot more in the actual rehearsals and the recordings of that thing. When they were sitting, and by putting them, immersing them in that, it gives them a much greater understanding of what they're actually, it immerses them in it and gives them a greater understanding. Like these are the 12 jurors. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So the whole time that they were rehearsing, they're sitting, in the set. They are that juror the whole time. There's, if they're the foreman, they're speaking to juror 6, 7. They know who everybody is, and it gives them a much greater understanding of the characters and how they relate to each other. So we use the VScope app if I'm doing big shots like that of the whole group. If you want your students to do individual green screening, you can use WeVideo, where they essentially just use the webcam in front of a green screen like this, if it was behind me, and they would sit like this and then record their character introductions or whatever it is right into WeVideo. You record that as a video there, drop a picture in behind them, and then you just tell WeVideo, take the screen away, and it puts the picture in instead. So if I want them to do individual recordings, they can do it themselves there in WeVideo. If they want to do group things, like I said, it's $2.99 for the group.
WeVideo doesn't that require a subscription as well though? 'Cause I've tried to.
There's a free version,
Yeah,
but
they can
you just
do
can't
all
get it
that
back out
free.
without the seal on it. It says, free
Right.
video when you shoot it back out.
Yeah. So that's what you have the students using as well, just that free.
The district has a subscription, so they have the premium version, but you can still get it back out. That's just the tough thing, is it has the watermark on it. The other thing that I tried to teach them early on is audio-video editing. Again, for the most part, we use WeVideo for that. They can record all of if they have individual audio tracks that they need to record, they can do all of that right into there, and they can kind of mess around with getting used to dealing with different tracks, audio, video, multimedia. And the third thing that we do is animation and photo editing, and that's primarily done in Google Slides, where they can lay everything out, as you're seeing on presentation, on slides. And then they can edit things down into individual shapes, and if they have some sort of a cartoon world or something that they can't actually take pictures of, they can then recreate that world, through animations and stuff like that. So the combination of all those skills gives them, you can basically recreate anything in science, social studies, any time period, place, whatever it is, using those different tools in conjunction. So just to give you an idea, this didn't turn out as well as I would have liked, but I'm going to try to send you guys to space. Just to give you an idea, just to kind of see all of them in conjunction right here. This contains some animated slides in here, recordings of those animated slides, audio, video editing, some green screen stuff. So you can just kind of see how they might be able to combine all of it together. Just check that fine.
We're really going.
We're really doing this.
Mr. Musk, is it true that you've come to Sealy to recruit for your next space mission?
Did you see Elon Musk this morning? He was here.
I always thought of that.
You didn't get that invite?
It's too far. You can't
But
even
what
see.
would somebody have to do in order
It's
to
very
qualify?
early this morning. You must be eating your bagel. Are you eating breakfast now?
We think you're intrigued with the pool of educator talent here on Long Island. However, we understand you met Ed Kemnitzer, Director of Innovation at East Village. What did you think of him?
Well, he's certainly someone I've admired. Well, I did try to talk to him once at a party, and it was super rude to me. Certain, the guy has certain magic about him. You know, sort of, that was really inspiring.
Okay, why today, March 24th, 2018? Why?
So, when we went to the moon, we were supposed to have a base on the moon. We were supposed to send people to Mars, and that stuff it just didn't happen. We went backwards.
Well, what do you see as the purpose of this mission?
It could be sort of a small philanthropic mission to Mars. Yeah, so thank you. And I was trying to think of the furthest that life's ever traveled, the first life on Mars, as far as we know. But if we could send a small greenhouse to the surface of Mars with seeds in dehydrated nutrient gel, and you hydrate it upon landing, you have
His
this great
students
shot of.
create videos like this,
Yeah.
using the Wii video
So,
and the images.
just to cut to the chase here, this is our crew from Sealy coming back from Mars. We'll go to Mars, excuse me. So you can see how you can animate it, combine any kind of animations, video, artwork, and kind of combine it all together in one spot. They had vegetation to Mars, as we hoped.
Oh, Elon.
And back
Okay. Sorry, it's a little bit rushed. Bill's gonna give you a